All right, if we're good, then we can start. Hi. Okay, you're welcome here again to my channel. My name is Wendy Ologe, the Intentional Parent. I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. If you're just joining me for the first time, I will say that you're welcome, and I'm going to ask you to just click on that button. You can see the button that says subscribe, so that you can be able to get our videos when we share, and also turn on your notification button. You see that bell there, bam bam, you just need to turn it on so that whenever we share our videos, you will be the first to know that we've shared our video. In the other series, we've been talking about discipline, we've talked about yelling, we've talked about connection, and my videos are beginning to take an interesting turn. Recently, somebody asked me, since you do short videos on some of those things and it has really helped my journey, I think you should share on how to build self-esteem in children. I'm going to share this short nugget. So this series will be about building healthy self-esteem in your child. Sometimes it's easy to notice that your children actually begin to feel good about themselves. A lot of the times we also notice when they don't. So what we call that is self-esteem. What are the characteristics? How do you know that a child has a healthy self-esteem? That's the question. Let me share the story. Recently we were in our class called Creating the Parenting Goals class, and in the academy. Is a one-year class that runs with parents every year. In 2020 we have over 54 parents taking that class. It's a 12-year session, and part of what we do in that class is to be able to touch every part of parenting. So apart from just saying we want to just do the connection, we are also noticing some things, building healthy self-esteem, where we're building reading skills, where just by the things that we're doing daily. And in one of those our sessions, one of the things that we needed to do was to send a note into our children's lunch boxes, so that when they open their boxes, they're going to read a note of what their mom or their dad says about them. We noticed that one of the days where we shared one of those notes, children came back with lots of stories, different kind of reactions. There was this particular girl who came back and said, "Oh, my classmates actually bullied me for having such a note." It's interesting how children actually get bullied for everything. I tell my children, you get bullied for being poor, you get bullied for being rich, you get bullied for being smart, you get bullied for being dumb, you get bullied for practically everything. What is going to help you survive as a child, as anybody, even as adults, we get bullied. Don't you see when people get pressures into doing things that we're not supposed to do? So we get bullied for several things that shouldn't even come to play. How do children fight off bullies? One of my major way that I recommend to parents is to build your child's self-esteem. A child with a healthy self-esteem will literally be able to ward off people telling her things that make her feel less of herself, or trying to actually talk to her in a way that, or him in a way that that brings her down. So while that one of the children went to school, one of the children saw the note and said, "Oh well, I don't even like things like this. It doesn't even make sense." And then she felt bad. She felt bad for having a lovely words from her parents. Imagine that. And of course, by the time we came back for reports, we do reports every day of how the day went, what we were able to do with the children and all that. And parents also have some time to connect with their children, and where they let out things and everything. So they had this conversation. So the parent brought it to the group, and when the parent was sharing it, and she said something. She said, "I was surprised that my child couldn't respond to say how she feels about the note. So how she felt about the note became inconsequential just because someone else felt it was rubbish. And then she brought it back and she said, but my child is very bold. Now I'm going to, dissect, things. Being bold is not the same, as being outspoken. You say, oh, my child is very outspoken, my child is very bold. Healthy self-esteem is not really about talking. It's about knowing what exactly to say, when people tell you things that you feel shouldn't be you. I'll share a very vivid example so that we can understand this. My daughter is not a talker. So she's one of those children that you see can sit in a place and not say a word, but she's assimilating her environment. But because of the kind of healthy self-esteem that she has, you won't bully her either. The fact that she's quiet doesn't mean that when you step her boundaries, that she won't actually stand up. And one of those days, she said there were these bullies in school. They're like 4 boys who came to her class to come and ask her about her brother. Her brother is the twin brother, my son, and had shot a ball over the fence. And these boys felt we're going to call him out and deal with him. Primary school is funny, yeah? And then they go to the class because they couldn't find her brother, and then they go meet Ife, my daughter. And when they got there, they told her, so where's your brother? But then my daughter turns and says, why are you looking for him? He said, well, he shot a ball over the fence and we're here to come and ask him why and deal with him for doing that and all that. My daughter said she looked at them and she said, what kind of dumb thing are you guys even talking about? Will you leave my class immediately? She said, if you see the way they took off. Now, a child who is going to be bullied usually will be a child that it's not confident in themselves. So because she has that self-confidence, she knew that, yeah, those children can actually, bully, beat and all that. But she knew that one of the things that a bully will fear is your words. How confident they come out. And because I've deliberately taught them how to fight off bullies without having to actually go fight physically, it has worked. People don't get to bully them because they know what it is to be able to stand and create those boundaries. But it starts from you and in your home. How healthy is your own self-esteem? How do you model these things to your children? It's interesting to know that many times we're actually expecting our children to do things that we ourselves, the standards we can measure ourselves to. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you are setting standards, be sure that those standards are also standards that you can be held accountable to. And by the time that we look at all this and we realize that self-confidence is built first in the home and not outside of the home.